Pick up.
Well, I just want also to add up on a few from what Ochi and you have said, but I will specifically. My name is Enoch, by the way. I'm from Busia, but recently I'm in Moi. I'm a student in Moi University, but a good guy and a person who is much appreciative of what Morara is doing. Back to the business of the day, I want to just top up something on what Ochi and my friend has said. The issue of Morara, I can say it is both Morara and the power behind him are a secret threat to the government. Why say so? I want to use the example of Raila and the people behind Raila. If you want to know this, that a person who is leading something is much sensitive, even if the power behind him is too strong. It may lead to the fallout of the people. Reason I am saying this, for all this government that have been running in Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga has been those government. But even though he had power, but people behind him were much powerful than the power Raila had. But when I find out, anytime Raila gets to the government, the weaker one or the people behind him become now weak. They cannot do anything because kuna mtu ameshawa heartbreak. It's just like a heartbreak. Because it is said, a father, an enemy to your father is an enemy to you all. So once your father gets to an associate with somebody who you all support, who you all may not have been supporting, and finally your father joins hand with, inamaanisha like, hey, what next here? So to bring up another person, one, it a little divided attention. Two, it has set priorities different. It's like substituting a star and putting in another player to play a role that a certain player was playing in the field. So Morara himself is a threat to the government. What this guy should never even try of thinking of giving up and thinking of betraying these people, because the power behind him has the ability to make him get to the target or the destiny that he wants. So what we just need to do is to be strategical. The other day, I was sharing with a friend of mine that one thing we as Generation Z should understand, and the government should understand, there is something that is called generational political transition. The way Raila and the people who used to play their politics some days back, using the political tricks of Gen Z, are not the same. So the key thing that Morara should understand, even if he may be somewhere and may not see the number as expected than that, like that of online. Remember, we are calling this thing a generational political transition, whereby you will not expect a lot of our people of our age to be in a multitude where Ruto is, to be in a multitude where Musalia is. But when somebody like Morara is somewhere, you will see the generation inaendana na hiyo umri ya Morara, that place. Meaning, there is something that Ruto must get to bring somebody to his camp. And there is something that Morara must get to make these people who are supporting Ruto to change their mentality. And the mentality is what is killing Kenyans. And that's why we're saying ignorance is the greatest enemy that is killing we Generation Z, Millennial, and those other generations zinadandia kwa generation yetu. That ignorance too, because there is no how Morara can be going somewhere, then the person of this generation attacks him. That is ignorance automatically. This person is fighting for the sake of your generation that is coming behind you, but you're fighting him. Yet the person who sent you to fight him is comfortably dispensing just 100 bob shillings or 1,000. So in a nutshell, what I'm just saying now, Morara should understand, and the people around Morara should understand, the generational transition of politics, one. Secondly, we should understand Morara himself is a threat to the government, and we Generation Z is a threat to the government. So what should we do? Who is from the other generation, the likes of the Jimmy Wanjigi, the people who their mentality is about changing this nation, that we can put hands together and make Kenya a better world than before, even if they are not of Generation Z. And that's the only thing we can. But tukisema ati oh anga sijui kitu fulani nini, no, the disease is just one: ignorance and to understand the generational transition. Yes.
Enoch, I think what you've paraphrased me. And I feel like it's important to reinforce the point because, okay, personally, I'm an admirer of Jimmy Wanjigi, and I compare him to one other politician who's now out of the limelight, one Peter Kenneth, a leader that I considered progressive, unaona. But now because the collective, because by the end of the day, there is an average for everything, as a political average for every community, be it a country, be it a village, etc. There is an average for that particular community. Now, the average for current Kenya can't be considered elite. We can't say that we are there. We can't say that we know democracy. We can't say that our democracy is right. Unaona, we are saying that, okay, for example, let me pass this message using this example that is practical. Recently, there was public participation, or so to call it, of the finance bill. And everywhere the finance bill was taken down. I think we all agree on that. The common mwananchi said no to this thing. But now what we consider to be democracy is what made the finance bill sail through, because it was taken to parliament and forced down the throats of the parliamentarians for a reason or the other. But what do we call it? We still call it a democracy where the majority have their way. Is it really right? Can't we have a democracy that is led by morality first and what is right next? Can we have it? Now, the point that you are passing across ya kusema that it's the force behind Morara. I've told you, okay, this is my opinion and it's personal, that Morara is only one human being. And whatever holds Morara afloat is the force behind him. So much as the government might consider Morara a threat, a direct threat on its profit, it's because of the force behind Morara. So if this force is weakened, then Morara becomes a nobody like every other person. So this person like Jimmy Wanjigi, are we ready to listen? We should be ready to listen to people for as long as what they are saying is what we want. No, not what we want, but what we really need. Unaona, someone like Jimmy Wanjigi, you listen to his politics, it's progressive politics. And you feel like the motive, the motivation behind Jimmy Wanjigi is not as selfish as the one you'd compare, for example, with the current president. The current president looks at the country like a business entity. Whatever contract, whatever good thing is going to do for you, and I had a former agriculture minister, Kipruto Kirwa, this morning, analyze, akisema, when you see the president supporting anything, it's because there is something in it for him. Kuna watu kama kina Jimmy Wanjigi, much as this guy might be filthy rich, kuna watu kama hao who are empathetic. There are people like Jimmy Wanjigi who are thinking of Kenya as a better society. So tusikose kuwasikiza just because they are not part of us. And if, for example, Jimmy Wanjigi offers himself for the presidency, let us give it thought. Tusiseme we are just dispensing with the old ways. No, good people are falling along the way, not because that was their original intention, but they've realized that the environment, that is the average Kenyan political environment, does not augur well with progressive ideals. Watu kama kina nani anaitwaje huyu Mohammed Ali. When he was in Jichopevu, alikuwa tu mtu mdogo. He was young and he had the right direction. But today, what is the difference between him and every other average politician? Look at people like Jagwa, the former Starehe MP. Akiingia pale tulikuwa tunasema ni kijana. But what system did he go into? Alienda kwa system yenye wananchi are not like what we have experienced kwa Gen Zs. You know, Gen Zs wameleta kitu progressive, kitu haina tribe. Haijalishi we ni nani, kama we ni adui wetu, we ni adui wetu. Haijalishi kama we ni mama yangu ama ndugu yangu ama tribe yangu ama nini. If we can build on that, then I think we are in the right direction. So, because by the end of the day, 2027 will come, and what we are complaining about is the current government, and in 2027 we'll be forced to put in another government. So we should start thinking even of persons. Tuache tu kusema ati oh Morara oh kesho ameitwa State House. Kama anaenda State House na alete the right thing, we don't care. I'm one such kind of person. I don't care. I supported the BBI not because ati sijui Raila alienda akafanya handshake na Uhuru. No, I supported it because it had 11 or 12 agenda that resonated well with me. So for me, it's not about the messenger, it's about the message. So whatever happens, let us not lose focus of what we want, rather much more or in greater intensity than who is leading us in that direction. If sisi watu, ikiwa watu wote or a good million number of us will want something, it is easier to push for that thing other than have 5 very sharp leaders hapa juu wenye wanaogopwa na serikali. Kwa sababu those leaders can be compromised. They are humans like you and I. But if there is a movement of hungry people, angry people huku nyuma, and I'm not trying to insinuate that Morara might be compromised upon, nasema tu, this movement should remain intact.
I have a question for you.
Kindly.
Yes, I'm listening. I have a question for you. Okay, the question is, for example, this is my opinion. Okay, some might say I'm obsessed with Morara, but maybe I don't know. But the question is, for example, we need the issue of IEBC to be addressed.
Yeah.
For example, maybe we've been here online saying we put posters. What if we've decided Morara is our leader and he comes out and makes a statement about IEBC and make them share a panel and call the media pressing. For example, we make Morara, Omtata and Onyonka maybe come in a panel and make a statement about IEBC and give directives and to the government, because one thing you have to remember is that we don't have an opposition. Yes?
That is certain. That is certain.
So the question is, we want to address the issue of IEBC. How do we address such an issue such that the government will hear us? So somehow I feel like being leaderless is being voiceless. I don't know. Maybe can you give your opinion about that?
Okay, that is my opinion, and that is why I've told the host here to not shy away if he can take the mantle for as long as he's leading us the right way. You know, whatever you've said, I think okay, much as I might not have said it in the exact words, it is no different from what I was saying. This is an issue. IBC is an issue, and a lot many of us are enlightened enough to know that we have a problem. We need to fix this IBC issue sooner than later. Now, it doesn't matter for me who will sit before the microphones of the media and the glares of the media and talk about IEBC for as long as they are saying what I agree with. Because by the end of the day, Morara belongs to a tribe. Onyonka belongs to a tribe. It will not be long if we do not hold focus of the view of the issues. It will not be long before we start saying Morara is a Kisi, Onyonka is a Kisi. That means that we've diverted our attention from the issues to the persons. For as long as we can continue pushing this movement on issues, and people like Morara, let us give these people the right to speak on our behalf. Because by the end of the day, who am I? If today I decided to say something, who am I? Morara, if Morara decided to say something today, if Morara decided to say occupy JKIA, the chances are good that it is likely to happen, unlike someone like me who's unknown. So let us give these progressive leaders the support they need. Let us not make them ashamed. Let us not make them shy away. There are people like, I don't know if you listen to this guy called Chege Majuis. I don't know if we follow this guy. You should listen to those people. Whatever they are saying, if we people give fire to whatever these people are saying, by supporting them in their numbers, if they register a political party, let us be the first to register and continue growing this number such that the government realizes that this new party now has 10 million members. Why won't the government fear such a political parties? But at the same time, I'm trying to emphasize this issue of issues. Let these leaders know that this is our threshold. These are our standards. We are not going below this. Do not tell us this because we are not going below this. If these people will find us having a very well-defined progressive system, they are only going to lead this system. They are going to know that we have set the threshold so high that they are not going to give us crap and we take it. Sijui atio, nyinyi ni hustlers, sijui mama mboga, tutatoka bottom up. No, let these people give us the right things, lakini sisi pia tusikubali standards zetu zishuke chini such that Morara kesho akituambia hii IBC mimi naona hivi Morara yani let us not put people like Morara through temptations of saying, what if we lower these standards? These people will still accept it. Set the standards so high, then let us not care now who is our leader, because we gave ourselves a progressive constitution. But today we still have problems. Why are we complaining? Tunasemaga that we have a very progressive constitution that can be compared to that of Western nations. But why do we still have political problems? It is because we are ready to compromise. Our standards are set so low that you buy me with 1,000 shillings and I'm ready to forget everything that I once stood for. So let us have these standards. Zenye hata Morara mwenyewe ama any other person akifikiria kutuongoza anajua standards zetu ni gani na anajua hatuko tayari kusettle for anything less. So I support you, Gax. Let us push these leaders that we view as progressive. Even people like Edwin Sifuna, those guys are still progressive. Much as the system is now churning them into something different, it is because we Kenyans, the majority of us have accepted low standards. Mpaka mtu anaona nikiendelea kukeep hizi standards zangu za juu that I cannot be compromised, I cannot be bribed. It is me who's losing more than I'm gaining. So let us show these people that there is profit, that we are with them, and we continue growing this the movement like a snowball. Let us speak to as many people. Let us have numbers. Unajua numbers ndio zinaogopesha hawa watu. Kama serikali, kama vile tulisema maandamano ya finance bill ifanyike and there was a handful of people in the streets. Would the president have been moved? No, he would not have been moved. But because of the numbers he saw, and remember even the pressure that you people gave influencers, social media influencers, asking mbona tuja kuona kwa maandamano. Kindly just a minute. Tukianza kusumbua kina Khalif Cairo, kina these celebrities, kina Terence, kina nani, unaona, those were the standards. Enye hata president mwenyewe ana realize if people are going to have a backlash on social media just because they did not support this, then it means this movement.
Good. I'll still come back to you. Thank you. Guys, nataka nyinyi wote before nipatie watu wengine mic, nataka muingilie hapa.
Mimi nataka niulize nyinyi watu wa Lodwar, watu wa Turkana. Mimi niliamua nikasema hatutaki siasa ya kugawanya wananchi. Hatutaki kugawanya watu. Hatuna biashara na ukabila. Hatuna siasa biashara na watu ya kugawanya watu wa upande hii, nyinyi ni wa upande ile. Hata nikatengeneza serikali mpya ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Turkana, tulifanya makosa kuunganisha Kenya? Tulifanya makosa kutengeneza serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote? Na watu wamekasirika ati kwa sababu nimepatia huyu Beatrice huyu a school ati akue waziri. Iko makosa hapo? Kuna makosa? Niendelee kuunganisha Wakenya ama nisiendelee? Niendelee ama nisiendelee? Wale wanasema tuendelee kuunganisha Wakenya nione kwa mkono. Tuko pamoja jameni? So we want to unite the people of Kenya because in unity we have the strength to drive through our challenges as a nation. In unity we can forge together to change the destiny of our nation. Tumekubaliana jameni? Mimi nawaomba munikubalie ni
low battery, please charge.
Pamoja tujenge barabara, tuweke maji, tuanganishe ya kwamba kuna stima, tuhakikishe ya kwamba kuna mambo ya afya. Na mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Lodwar, sawa? na watu wa Turkana. Sasa tuko na mfumo mpya ya afya ya universal health coverage ambayo itahakikisha kwamba kila mwananchi, hata yule ambaye hana uwezo, anaweza kwenda hospitali na akatibiwa. Mimi nawaomba kila mmoja wenu mujisajili. Mahali entry ni kila mmoja wenu uweze kujisajili kama mwanachama wa Social Health Authority, ndio tuhakikisha kwamba tunakupangia mambo yako ya afya. Watu wa Turkana tunaelewana, na tumekubaliana na county governments wote ya kwamba tutashirikiana pamoja ndio tupange kazi ya hawa vijana. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Kweli ama si kweli? So mujipange hapo, tuko pamoja. Nimefurahi kufika hapa Lodwar, na mimi naona vile mumekaa, mimi nataka nipangane na nyinyi. Tumeelewana?
President ni mtu wa kushinda mpaka yeye akipeana 200 juu amepigiwa makofi. Take it from there.
Dennis.
Yes, sir. Yes, Ken.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bingo House.
And good evening to everyone who is here with us today.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, anyway, we have heard what the president has said today, and it raises so many questions about the politics of our country and the general way of politics. If you look at maybe the mature politics of the other countries, like the United States of America, there is no time that the Democrats win the presidency and then they incorporate the Republican into the same government. Hiyo inakuanga tu ni plan ya kuimbia watu, kwa sababu as much as we want to talk about unity in our country, there is no way you can unite people by incorporating the opposition into the government. It has never happened. It can never happen. It can only happen where people want to hide what they want to do. Kwa sababu, to be sincere, if the position is the one that is supposed to be the one who is checking the government, the check and balances for the government, the opposition wakati Raila hakukuwa kwa the government, at least yeye ndiye alikuwa anasema hii kitu ambayo iko mumefanya as a government, it is not the way it is supposed to be. And now, President is talking about unity. Unity how? How can you unite the opposition with the government and still think that it is to the advantage of the citizen? It is not to the advantage of the citizen, it is to the disadvantage of the citizen, kwa sababu huyu mwananchi ambaye mumemwacha peke yake hana mtu wa kumtetea. And that is why you see today the Minister of Energy, whoever he is, mwenye aliwekwa hapo, ndiye sasa alikuwa opposition, saidi wanaingiza akina ndani very comfortably, wanatuletea mambo ya Gachagua, sijui wanatuletea mambo ya nani, wanaingiza akina ndani and they are deals, kwa sababu there is no opposition. Raila mwenye alikuwa anatetea watu, he is nowhere to be seen. And this is what Ochi was talking about. If you are not going to rally behind Morara, I'd give Morara an option, not just Morara, because if something happens today and Morara is not there, who is going to step into the shoes of Morara? And that is the biggest question. Does it mean that if today by any chance, and people, as Ochi was saying, if by any chance Morara today could be compromised too, akuje ambiwe, hey kijana, tumeona umefanya kazi mzuri, get this 100 million, unyamazie your story, where will the Gen Z be from there? And that is why maybe I want to echo what Ochi was saying. We need to have some people apart from Morara that can stand in case of anything. And that is why unaona hata mambo ya Morara sasa hivi yenye imeenda chini, he is not doing his crime scene anymore. Unaona ya kwamba hiyo mambo inaenda ikididimia somehow. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu Morara was the only one who was doing that. Kama kulikuwa na Morara mwingine from another maybe place or someone else who was doing the same, wana compete na Morara doing the same things, maybe Morara angeshuka kidogo na huyo jamaa mwingine ama madamu mwingine naye akuwe sasa ndiye anaongoza about the same. If we can do this, I'm sure that we can be able to move forward and we can have a very strong Gen Z. Lakini hii maneno ya president kutuambia ati he is to join together, it is unity, it has never happened. We tried it with Uhuru wakati walikuja waka have handshake na Raila, things went down. Muliona venye vitu zilienda, unga ilifika mpaka 300 and something for 2 kg unga, na hakukuwa na mtu wa kututetea kwa sababu already wao wamecollaborate already. Raila has nothing to say. Raila this time hawezi sema kitu kwa sababu anajua serikali ya kwamba inampush at least kuona kama atapata ile kiti ya AU. It is good, it is not bad, but to the expense of who? It is us who are suffering, it is us who are left suffering.